Simba Nest Radio South. Hello good people, welcome to Simba Nest Radio Sauti ya Mwananchi. Leo tuko watatu. My name is Naito Regine.
Yangu naitwa Uncle Sam. Asante sana.
Na mimi naitwa DJ Klaus.
Yeah, so leo tunataka kuongelea politics venye zimekuwa lately. Kumekuwa kumoto and a lot is going on in terms of politics. Mko aware of that, right?
Najua politics is about well-being ya binadamu.
Yeah.
So ni tabia yetu from time to time to start focusing on siasa inatupeleka namna gani.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day that is what determines the allocation of resources ikiwa ni inchi. Yes. A community allocation of resources depends so much on the politics that goes around. You can be a farmer, but if politics does not favor you, then your farm produce inapelekwa kwa mwingine au yeye ndiye anasiaga ndio tena inarudi kwako kukula. 10% of it, the rest of it yeye akishasiaga yeye ndiye anakula.
So to begin with, msikilizaji, in case unaweza taka kuadvertise business yako na sisi, nambari yetu ya WhatsApp ni 0728091656, na pia kwa ujumbe wowote ambao unaweza taka kututumia. Pia kwa YouTube tuko live kama Simba Nest TV, na TikTok, Instagram na Facebook pia tuko kama Simba Nest Radio. So to begin with, mlisikia about Uhuru venye anakaziwa
this situation of Uhuru. Sindio nimekuambia ya kwa is very interesting. People think of politics as a politician, meaning somebody who has amevaa suti ya kuenda kufanya siasa. But sometimes politics is about life.
Yeah.
Politics is about allocation of resources. Sasa ndio huyu, somebody told me also something which goes around comes around. When Uhuru was in power and he was still the reigning president, he had not been retired. They would say, oh, sasa huyu Raila we umekataa kuacha politics, Kibaki aliwacha na akapumzika. Unajua Kibaki aliwacha because his wealth was so small. That's why he died soon after. His health was not very good. But now Raila was still active. And nimekuambia, as long as you are still active, you can, somebody told me there are two things which you can never ignore. One thing is a politician. The other one is a banker. These two things determine how resources are allocated. The production, the output of the economy is a concept. It's a very straightforward. How much output? Those two things, you cannot say ya kuwa huyu jamani banker ama huyu jamani finance person, he's so much interested in finance and tumemwambia retire and he has refused to retire. Because at any one time utajipata kama it's affecting you. Umetoa 500,000 to your cousins, but the inflation rate is so high, wakirudi jioni wamespend all that money and they have not even got sufficient goods in exchange. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So you start following up ya kuwa, but where did that my 500,000 go? Then somebody meets you and come, bwana wewe ulitire from finance na ukasema ya kuwa wewe ulishawacha banking, so utaki kujua. Sasa angalia wewe unafuata pesa milioni naenda. Sasa umeona. It's the same thing with politics. Allocation of resources. Sijui mwenzangu atasema.
Mimi I see as story fighting for dynasty between two tribes, Kikuyu and the Kalenjins. And from historically unapata
Unapata
historically inajulikana eh, there are people with different talents. Wakikuyu walizaliwa na talent ya becoming rich. Hakuna vile you can change Mkikuyu ati aswache story ya pesa. Hata unapata hata a dropout wa class 7 Mkikuyu atakuwa rich than hata Mjaluo mwenye amedrop out the same Mkikuyu atakuwa richer kwa sababu that's their talent wameshazaliwa na ya wakalenjin for them is ikukimbia and you can't change. That's how Mungu aliwaumba. So hakuna vile you can fight different tribes juu ni Mungu ameomba hivyo. So hii ni kitu they are fighting ati na atakuwa tajiri kushinda mwingine, atakuwa tajiri kushinda mwingine. That thing it will never change. If kama Mungu amekubariki na kitu fulani, kubali tu ni hiyo tu, it's you can change yourself. Sasa Kasongo anafikiri ati Wakikuyu ati wanajaribu kuchukua pesa yote.
But my friend, I'm begging to differ. I'm begging to differ hivi. Naomba hivi. We were talking of Kikuyus and Kalenjins, but I told you when Uhuru was in power, it was about Raila and Uhuru.
Lakini sasa
I fear the trajectory you like to make tribal clusters. But I'm trying to point. I'm trying to point that power is very interesting. When you are at the top there, you are somebody who is eating. Whether itakuwa ni Kisi, Matiang'i. Because remember right now, Matiang'i ndiye anaambiaga watu how it is unfair to simply kill somebody without notice. Could I finish? Matiang'i tells people how it is unfair to kill somebody without taking him through the justice system. What is called extrajudicial killings. Si ni kweli? But this is the man ambao one day alishika Miguna akiingiza kwa ndege because surely that man was disturbing people. He was a nuisance, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was making our lives unnecessary because he akona Macau, Canada. Yet he was disturbing people. But the same Matiang'i right now is so much concerned about equality, about justice. That says in his public speakings. I normally. So what am I saying? That power is sweet. That when you are up there, you do not like somebody disturbing your dinner. Whether uwe ni Kuria, whether you sasa umeona sahi mkubwa wa elections tumeita IBC inaitwa nani? Ekathon ama Ekathon. Anaitwa nani? I can't remember the second name, but it's Ekathon or Ekathon. Is it? Huyu Ekathon right now is thinking exactly the way Chebukati was thinking. He's thinking exactly the way Hassan was thinking. You are already seeing you are in a delicate position. You want the person who is the, what do you call him? Who is the dominant figure. You align with the dominant figure. You give him hand it over to him leadership of the country, and he'll give you some few flats in US and the UK. Now, corruption has no tribe. The only thing we can do is to inculcate in the minds of our people.
You know the problem.
You have not even allowed me to finish. Maybe because you didn't want me to finish in the first place.
See, I'm seeing you're almost ending.
No, but you have not even gotten my point. That the second point I was trying to put through is corruption is such that once I'm in power, then it doesn't matter to me who else, whether it's a Luo or a Kikuyu or a whatever. I will come out, and there's also that culture of right now, like say for example, Pio Wandai is a Luo. If I try to oppose him, hapa nje, my brothers will pull me back kuniambia Sam, we unaharibia mtu wetu. You get what I'm saying? So I'm likely not to oppose Opiyo Wandayi, mainly because, not because I like it, but because maji imependela kuteremka kwa mteremko, isn't it? It goes towards the least resistance. And so if with the same energy that I will attack Ruto, if I try to use the same energy to attack Opiyo Wandayi, depending on my background, depending on my audience, the audience will fight me more kama wamejua mimi ni Jaluo and I'm fighting Opiyo Wandayi. Unanielewa? Than when I'm seated there and I'm fighting somebody like Ruto, they'll tell me now, tell us your point. And maybe that's my input. I don't know what you have again to add on that.
You know, in Kenya, we are living under 3 principles. Those principles which Kasongo said.
But before Kasongo there was Kenya.
Yeah.
So can you just say
and
just say it?
nasema vile aliingia now we are there, but before but before the rule we are living is on. Hata even an artist sang a song called Eric Wanaina, saying Kenya ni nchi ya kitu kidogo. Ukitaka kitu toa chai. And that thing started back during colonial eras. Now vile kitu ilianza through the colonial eras, now it has peaked, it has roots. Even a class 1 student anajua if you want something toa kitu kidogo, kitu kidogo, so you can't change anything. The person who wanted to change this thing, now they put him coaching. Now when they put him down there, now the man inside has freedom. Now he can do whatever he wants. If he wants to become for life, he can, because as per now nobody can be able to outdo him. You look at Kalonzo, Mudavadi, Eugene, nobody has the amount of money to outweigh Kasongo. Nobody has the capacity, because he is using 2 principles: judiciary and the police.
Okay, Klaus. Okay, let me interrupt. Tukirudia hii story ya Uhuru, juu ni kama tumetoka kwa hiyo nini.
Sinakwambia sasa tukirudi kwa story ya Uhuru, that's what I was trying to tell him. Now it's dynasty. Even if Uhuru retires, you can't change a Kikuyu from becoming rich. Even if he retires, even if he does not get benefits, if he does not get benefits from the government, he still be rich.
Is it about wealth?
Everything. I'm talking about even being rich, being wealthy. You can't change a Kikuyu from being rich, even if he does not get benefits from the government or not.
Because personally I think the reason why this Ruto's government is afraid of Uhuru, okay, wanaona kama bado wako na say.
Sindio, akona say, lakini
but it's not like anataka yeye nini cheo, mbona wako afraid?
Uje nini? I'm telling you, it's because it's dynasty. What they are fighting, not Uhuru they are fighting. They are fighting dynasty. which tribe will be more richer than the other. So they're not fighting Uhuru, they are fighting, you see, even they're fighting even ukiangalia hata Gachagua. They're fighting also Gachagua because they're not fighting even because just naturally the Kikuyu race, the Kikuyu tribe.
Is it about the power or about the wealth?
It's about the tribe Kikuyu. If they see a Kikuyu somewhere, wanajua hata if you look hata ukiangalia all the companies in Kenya, ukienda kwa China, hawezi jaribu kuwa Mkikuyu, najua Mkikuyu anakuja kukunibi to steal, because the Kikuyu knows how to get money. So Ruto is wondering how is Kikuyu becoming more richer than other tribes in Kenya, and na ajui that's God's doing, and you can't undo what God alipanga for them. Anafaa kujua if it's for them, wameandikiwa kama ni their talent is running, wakubali woni wakimbiaji, they can get money from there. Si ati bwana tribe bingine ati inakuwa richer, wanataka to demean one community and you can't change it. Ni kama wetu kwa just give an example, mtoto Mkikuyu wa class 7 si a drop out saizi, na another tribe a drop out, hata kama Mkalenjin a drop out, Mkikuyu will still become rich, hata kama itakuwa ni aje, bado will still become rich juu that's their talent, their inborn talent.
What I was requesting is we are right, Kikuyu is likely to be rich.
Yeah.
But don't you think that they are likely to be rich because of what I mentioned before, that in an economy or in life, either you are controlling the body politic, the society, the views of the people, which means you are controlling politics, or you are controlling banking and financial issues, which means you are controlling the finances. Because of their position during independence, because remember, independence was Nairobi. Nairobi is the capital city, and this was their land, isn't it? The White Islands, the whatever, Mount Kenya, Kenya, Nanyuki, those are their lands. And so the Mazungu kind of associated with them, such as Kikuyus. Don't you think therefore that one of the reasons why probably they are doing well is because the several resources came to their favor. Several resources came to be aligned with them. Don't you think that's a factor? So that we stop accusing them to be like you want them to apologize for being likely to get wealthy. But you are saying the resources were positioned in such a way that hata wewe unajua mimi even wakati nilikuwa mdogo, when I was a very young boy, I used to ask my mother. My mother was a teacher. So I used to ask my mother, huyu mtu anaitwa Duncan Ndegwa, because there was a Ndegwa who was a governor of Central Bank of Kenya. Those days as a governor of Central Bank of Kenya, signature yake ilikuwa kwa pesa. I don't know whether you remember that.
Yeah.
So ilikuwa Duncan Ndegwa. You would see Duncan Ndegwa. Then until you were told, no, he's a governor of Central Bank. It's just a job like any other job, except you the independence. Of course, there are people who got the first good education, so he went to that position. I tend to think, therefore, that their position is really not. It's because they were there.
But that can be a point. And also, you see, there is this what we call when you have too much knowledge, people try to question, why do you have this knowledge? They try to get how you learn.
But we still takes us down to the point is it therefore fair to tell Uhuru that way since umeretire wachana na siasa? I think that is where we started.
Yeah.
So that's where we started. Wakina Cherargei wanasema wachana, and remember the same Cherargei was the guy who was there was a time, we just forget fast, there was a time when people were really working on Raila. Mpaka Raila said if that is an issue about hiyo pesa, wacha ifanye nini? Wacha ifanye nini? Ikae. I remember it was about 2014, 2015, 2016. Then people were, the guys who were in power, who was then at that time Uhuru, followed by Ruto, started saying that, hey, we are giving you allowances to go and retire, but you keep on hanging around up in Nairobi instead of and he said it's because number one, I have a following. Number two, there are people who the ODM that he was saying, I lead ODM. So even if nikikaa nyumbani alone, haitafika jioni kabla somebody hajaniambia ya kwa suffer this and suffer that, and when they call upon me, I will always come out. So if you feel so strongly that I should not involve myself in any issue, kaeni na hiyo pesa. I think that is the way that Raila put it to them.
You know,
Na hata God forbid, but hata tuache tuseme hivi 2032 si itafika, si Ruto will have to retire.
you know what
Once he retires, there is some people who have dealt with him for long. Hata yeye anasemaga ako na rafiki yake mwingine anaitwa Clementi will come and it's like mzee, wewe sasa umeretire but still his school fees yangu has not been paid. I've been chasing bursary for 3 months. Na yeye ndiye anatamu advice ya kwa according to us, I think we should really scrap this bursary system. Will he not be participating in politics?
you know,
He will.
unajua pale Kenya tumefika saizi, you can't be rich than the government. If you try to become rich than the government, the question they question you, why are you becoming rich than the government? Are you stealing or what? They make you bow down to the government. No. So even if seme saizi Uhuru Kenyatta seme hataki hizo benefits, they will still fight him back. Wanataka pia yeye ati since aliwacha kwa president akuwe commoner, a beg from the government, which is not good.
Or watataka ati anyamaze. But you see, you cannot nyamaze, especially like for Uhuru. He's retired president, but he's still the party leader of Jubilee. Now, you are members of the party, cannot walk up to you, but unaambia sasa mimi for sake of hii chakula msaada napatiwa, now sasa sita comment on this issue. So he ends up fighting. He ends up whatever. He at one time probably ataingia kwa state ya juu. Raila aliwaambia watu, Raila aliwaambia ikifika mwisho kaeni na hiyo pa juu. But I'm sure that the third president, he is now the Raila was the first, a person who has gained prominence and is supposed to retire and collect his money and go home. Uhuru is second. Ruto sooner or later, 2032, he will be the third one, because he shall have done his 2 terms. Amebeba pesa yake. Somehow he still has his URP. Which party does he have last? UDA. He still has his UDA. And they tell him, sasa wewe hata kama hujachaguliwa kama president, tunakuretain kama party leader. When people walk up to his door, wanamwambia advise us on this issue. Will he refuse to advise them simply because he's preserving mshahara?
You know, there is this thing they say, you can be rich, but at the same time be poor. This means that you can be rich, but don't have that knowledge to keep on adding that being rich. Yeah, you see. So even if you know, for Kikuyu, even if hata kama Uhuru akiambiwa saa hizi aache hiyo retirement, for them they have that knowledge for adding the same richness they have times 2.
Times two.
Eh.
So you
So they don't
so
you know,
what am I, so you are advocating ya kuwa Uhuru awachane na siasa kabisa? Ama
see, I'm not
ama does he
No,
continue fighting
no.
for what he believes,
No,
whatever it is? I'm not even saying party platform ya Jubilee is strong.
me, I'm not advocating for any.
Actually, party platforms ya Kenya here pia are very interesting.
Mimi, my point is how Kikuyus were made by God. You see, even if
It's not in your topic, really. You know, she's leading us on
no,
a topic.
I'm saying
Your hatred for
no,
Kikuyu is appreciated.
no. I'm not saying hatred. I'm not saying hatred.
I'm saying
No, me, I'm not saying hatred. Me, I'm proud of what God given talents which we have,
yes.
and which you cannot change.
But Mheshimiwa,
Even-
I'm just coming back on a
Eh.
point that what she's asked us, what Madam Jane has asked us, is there's a situation, unfolding situation, and it happening for the second time.
And that's what I'm saying.
You have not even allowed me to speak.
Eh,
Why can't you allow me to speak? I'll calm down. Take a glass of water. I'm saying, Madam Jane has told us that she's getting concerned. Right now in the country, everybody is like, we ukisha retire, we wachana na sia. And they are saying, okay, it's captured on the constitution that once you have finished your term, then you should now settle down and leave politics. But leaving politics and commenting on political issues, you can leave politics, which means Uhuru should not run for MP, Uhuru should not run for senator, he should not run for governor. If we hear him running for governor, we'll feel offended.
Yeah.
But that ability to stand on a podium,
you see,
my friend, you have not even allowed me to talk because you really want to. You can't listen. You can't talk. You can't
Continue,
listen.
continue,
Yes,
continue,
so allow me
continue,
to talk
continue.
so that you listen. Allow me to talk so that you listen. Isn't it? Isn't it? So what am I saying? I'm making a point that what is your stand? Anybody who has been a president should never participate in any political issue or has the right to participate.
Mimi, my point was, it's according to tribes.
No.
No.
These are not tribes. They are not tribes.
Klaus.
No, me, I'm talking about the story of Uhuru. That's what I'm talking about. Because Uhuru comes from.
But she has asked us a question.
Yes, me, I'm talking about Uhuru. Yes.
Okay, Klaus ndo nasema.
And Uhuru.
According to you, first of all, question. Very one. Do you want Uhuru to be allowed to be talking at funerals or politics, or you don't allow him? Then now defend it.
Me, what I'm defending is everything. Uhuru plus the tribe where he
Do
comes
you
from.
allow him to be talking politics?
Even if he talks or not, you still become rich.
Okay, Klaus.
And you can't
Klaus.
change.
Okay, tuko hivi, right? Acha hata niongee Kiswahili.
Yes.
Uhuru anaambiwa afai kuwa ana comment kwa about
Anything.
yeah, kuhusu politics.
Awe bubu.
Lakini wewe mambo unaleta ni about tribe na wealth. Lakini sasa nauliza, ndo nilikuwa hata nauliza if it's about the tribe,
Wana for a different day.
yeah, wanaendea power ama wealth. Na politics, tukitaka kuongelea politics itabidi tubaki hapo kwa power.
Do you allow him? Can you allow him to comment on political issues?
Yeah, ako na hiyo right.
He should not.
A yes or no answer.
Can you allow him? Ama ikifika siasa anyamaza.
For me, since Kenya is a democratic country and it's in the constitution, everybody has a free will to talk.
Yes.
There's no problem.
I remember it reminded me of their conversation
Eh,
in
no.
2012
No problem.
presidential interview where people said, and probably even Raila fell into that trap on that interview between Raila and Uhuru. Remember 2012? And the going was, we baba yako alikuwa president, so we should not be vying for president. And Uhuru came prepared. 2012. That's how many years ago. So people were saying Uhuru is the son of president. Uhuru is the son of president. The Uhuru is the son of the president.
Eh, so this is Simbanes Radio, sauti ya mwananchi, na hii ni politics review. Tuendelee na
mjadala. Yeah, so people were saying he's the first of son of a sitting president, and therefore has no right to comment, to try to become a president again. Uhuru answered from the constitution of Kenya. Akasema even the son of president is protected by the constitution and allowed to run. Isn't it? So I feel that even at this moment, he still has the same word. The same lateral, he can comment on topical issues, as long as he himself does not run for positions. Wakati atakuwa amerun for positions, then that would be unfair. Amesema anataka kurudi president, that would be unfair. Amesema anataka run for what?
You know, they say the ground speaks for the people in power.
Yes.
Not the people in power to speak for them.
Ground.
So if people want
to represent them like a commoner, yes, he can.
You can. Kwa sababu ni the people wamesema even if
except again now there's something which is very worrying, which I don't know whether we all look at. You know, a former president and akona parks. Therefore, kama vingine parks, which means what? Benefits. Akona several vehicles, akona what, which are financed by the government. Huyo jamaa akitumia resources yake kukampenia kama kukua MCA ama MP, ujue umeingia.
Unajua hata
because magari zitakuwa zinatembelea pale and they are being fueled by the government. But again, you cannot blame him on that, because right now I can see CSS are using their vehicles to go and advance courses.
Unajua hata vile Mungu alikuja on this earth, he said tenda mema nenda zako. So the good things Uhuru did, that the good things namfuata. So Ruto akifanya negative things, asifikirie good things namfuata vile Uhuru namfuata. So do good things to people, watu wenyewe ndio they return the favor. Lakini ukifanya ati negative things,
then itakuwa
they still oppose you.
Wacha tuachie
yeah. Okay, hiyo story I think tumeongelea enough, na sijui kama kuna mtu akona comment about it.
Maybe just final comment. Ya kuwa we have even seen the people were saying immediately to adopt the 2010 constitution, we were saying on CS tutachukua professionals. People will not be interfering with the politics, be 100% efficient. So he, because we have realized that CS also must be a person of clout, must be a person of influence. We have ended up taking again politicians back to the majority of CS are actually politicians. And remember we said tumewachana na whatever, this constitution is such that it's a presidential system. These guys are pure liver. All these guys are still right now. Umesikia gavana fulani yoho ameingizwa pale, gavana Nyagui ameingizwa pale. Yeah.
Unajua even there's a good example. You see, the way Kibaki progressed very well. Even if he's still in the grave, people still cry for Kibaki. Hiyo ndio kitu Ruto aoni. Yeye anafikiria ati ukitenda vibaya.
Though frankly my friend, me I never mourned for Kibaki.
Lakini
The Kibaki between 2003 to 2007, 2006 I mourned for him. But yule alikuja kwa power at night usiku. When he came back to power, I always tell people frankly I never mourned for him because he was as corrupt as any other person. But tuendelee
na bado tuongoze. Na bado pia mwingine I choke something najua atanikuji. So hata kama akitoka, hata kama Ruto akitoka, you don't get the same benefits as Uhuru kwa sababu
acha sasa Jaledi ametuongoze.
Tukiongelea hiyo let's briefly talk about hiyo ziara ya president uko TZ na about what
kuenda Tanzania.
Yeah.
Umeanza topic ambao imebeba two unfortunate things. One is exposed our dear president to a tendency not to speak the truth.
Nasikia kuwa wanasema rais alidanganya akiwa nyumbani, na pia kwa wenyewe
finally inaanza kuwekwa hapa. When I like again one of his approaches. I like again one of his approaches. What am I saying? That I think he's a very positive man. Mpaka masabi.
Na itakuwa
that's being a visionary. Except when you are doing public resources, you are heading to position kama president, and people are looking up to you. Na wewe unasema kutoka kesho tunaanza barabara kutoka hapa kwenda na like now somebody was exposing it that ile barabara ya bridge ya Tharaka Nithi. He's predicted to them a positive outcome 3 times. On 3 occasions na huko sasa tukamwambia punguze kidogo akafika 5, so anaanza next week. So if you sit back unasema sasa hii barabara is brought by
somebody like what the president is doing is what we call side show of a project. Like
I'm telling you again the way because
I'm looking for another contract.
Not a thing, but tuongoze madam that it was a vision which they discussed with President Museveni. So ikikuwa ndoto, it was a dream. The second thing was discussion which now they were having with closed door meeting with because if your discussion with me is about how to trample on his rights, then that discussion is unfair, isn't it? A discussion where people conspire to trample on the rights of other citizens, that one is a discussion which probably we should just come out forthwith and explain that no, the closed door part of it did not as Samia was saying ya kuwa alikuja na tukadiscuss vile tunadili na hizi Gen Z. Gen Zs are not animals. They are citizens. There is nobody called Gen Z. Gen Z is just a human being.
Yeah.
So a human being who is a citizen deserves respect. It's not a favor. So you cannot go to Tanzania, you cannot go to Uganda, you cannot go to America and get into a closed door discussion of how to deal with Kenya. That bit is unfortunate. That bit, as my personal level, I'm just concluding. That bit is unfortunate because it's not protected by Constitution of Kenya. Remember, Constitution of Kenya, chapter 1, inaanzaga with the people. They have that power. They have simply given that trust to one person who is now called the head of state. So if I give you my trust, execute this power for me, yet you go to conspire with a neighboring country on how to trample on my land, rights, I think it's a bit unfair. Hapo ndio nimemalizia, so that wacha mwenzangu pia.
Mimi, the person who knows Ruto very well is Donald Trump. Trump knows there was a time they wanted to give funding to Kenya. Trump refused because anajua if Ruto gets an opportunity of getting a bit of money, the money won't come fully to help the citizens. It will help an individual, and as we will get zile mabakishi tu, mabaki ndio tunaambia ati ndio delifika, and if you try to ask where did the rest go, you are told 3 options. Hivyo tu. So hii deal was ni kama hii mkaidi ya tuseme ya JKIA, bring an, go and say there is an investor who wants to invest in something, because kuna kitu tunaitwanga, there's a law they try to change, wanasema ati you can take government any entity to become personal entity. Nisikia law kama hiyo. There is a law nowadays.
Is it protected by the Constitution? Okay.
Yeah, say equal. Now it's there. You can take
To privatize.
kama kama saizi si alienda ile sijui ilikuwa sijui Nairobi
KPC.
Ilikuwa sijui Nairobi hospital hii.
Yeah.
Now is the shareholder
Haikukataliwa hiyo.
Imekataliwa.
Yo,
Ikataliwa simply because the way he was thinking is a limited liability company, but it's more or less a cooperative society. So its structure is again not very direct. Limited liability, you know, is you get majority shares like KCC. When even Kibaki was privatizing things, come KCC, you just get the shareholding. This share capital is 100 million. Once you top up something like 700,000, no, 100 million, then you do 70 million. Then you are the majority shareholder for limited liability company. But the company guarantee is called what? Limited by guarantee. Then a company limited by guarantee as a cooperative society, it does automatically change power simply because you have the majority shares. Those shares are still diluted by the fact that there must be equal fairness when decision-making process is done.
Yeah.
So they tried that in Nairobi hospital. It was not working very well. They abandoned it as a child.
That's what Steve Ruto is using bado kwa TZ. So he wants to impose that there is somebody amekuja, lakini back in his mind they are eating both of them. Wanaambia utakula nusu, mimi nitakula nusu.
So
mkate nusu.
yeah, this is a very
the main owner ni Ruto tu anakula.